Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Over in the Town. I'm Dave. Great to be back after a fantastic weekend of sport for us. City Ground, the fifth meeting between Luton Town and Nottingham Forest. And we've come away with points every time. What a dramatic end to the game. Fantastic to see. Well done to everybody who was cheering us in there, even from home. It was just an amazing day out. So we're going to talk about that game in more detail in a bit. We're going to talk about Andros Townsend as well and get your 3-word reviews and everything like it. As usual, we've got with us Bataro and Steve. Have we recovered from the weekend yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, really good.
Oh, yes.
It was one of those games where, for me, it was one of those we needed to get something from, given what's coming up in the next few weeks, which... Every time you look at the upcoming fixtures, it just think to yourself, oh, crikey. But not that word. Every game is hard. Every single game is hard. And you're looking at the sort of a Nottingham Forest game and going, let's hope we can get something from it. Mm-hmm.
It was certainly one that it would have been nice if we'd have got something from it because, I mean, Villa are banging form at the moment. They're scoring plenty at home. But they've got a European game sort of a few days before, so maybe then Liverpool, Man U, they take care of themselves, don't they? Really.
Every game is like a cup final at the moment, but
feels like it.
Obviously, we had a bit of a worry about the weather. That didn't come to fruition. It was a good day out, right?
Oh, it was a brilliant day out. I mean, the fact that when we got into Nottingham, I think the drains were spouting back up at all the water and everything. It was flooded, and I thought, this could be a bit of a bad day here. But no, look, it was, let's say, a great day. And what a way to do it.
I mean, I think they got a new pitch, didn't they? And the drainage was really, really good. But I saw some sort of clips on the news from like Mansfield and that. It was just water steaming down this road. So, yeah, I think it didn't seem to have any effect on the game at all. So, fair play.
So, Batara, you came, and Steve, you watched.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had to do the sort of time with the wife. I'm afraid. So yeah, I had to bail out of that one.
Don't worry, mate.
But I am taking a key contribution for the second goal. We'll talk about it at the time. But yeah, I definitely had an influence.
Let's have a look at some of your 3-word reviews then. Neville says, "What a comeback! Screech, a great away result. Liam, never say die." Brim says, fight, passion and belief, add game-changing subs. Well, I'm sure we'll get onto that one. Graham, show of character. Dylan, tears in Nottingham. Lee, classic Elijah finish. Mark, feels like a win. And Gary, saying he didn't put the word we in there, I just did that. Never gave up. Anything take your fancy, Batar?
Game-changing subs, not just from us, but from them as well. Because they brought on... Well, a couple of players. I think we spoke to a few blokes in the service station on the way home, and even they were saying like, "We thought we'd won the game. We're just taking the mick, bringing on like players that didn't really play and whatever else." So, yeah, I think. But look, from our point of view as well, we look at the positives from the subs, and they did make a massive impact, didn't they?
You could see on the highlights when the second goal went in, the manager was immediately to the bench. It was like that. So he was clearly thinking, this is one.
Wrapped up.
They're not going to score 2 goals, and but then we made 3 really positive substitutions.
Yes,
As I say, from the highlights that Sky gave, you couldn't really sort of make anything out of it. But
they were terrible, weren't they? The highlights on Sky. Yeah.
Well, everyone sort of online was saying that Barkley done really, really well, made a massive contribution, and that is fantastic. But you would not have a clue from Match of the Day or the Sky highlights.
Hang on a minute, Match of the Day didn't even show our chances from the first up. I think the first time they showed us shooting a goal is when we scored.
Yeah.
I don't want to anti-Match of the Day, but it is crap.
Yeah,
it's generally
rubbish,
not good.
No.
It might be better if we can beat Liverpool next weekend, but I just don't like that.
Michael Richards was the only one that took time out for about 30 to 40 seconds to actually say, do you know what, well done Luton, they're playing to their strengths, etc.
But even at the end of that, Gary Lineker said, Luton are the best of the 3 promoted teams, aren't they? And he just sort of cut away from it. He never got that answered question.
But what they did say was correct. We've got a very definite identity.
Yep.
We've got a style of play that fits our squad.
Direct.
Yeah, you know, we are playing to our strengths, whereas I think Burnley might be a little bit transitional where they're looking to play a more sort of open, expansive play, and maybe they're not sort of well-oiled into it. Apparently Sheffield United haven't got any money and stuff like that. So out of the 3, we've got a clear identity. It's very straightforward, but we've got the players that can do it.
There's a big game for Burnley next weekend because they're playing Bournemouth.
Yes.
And, you know, for us personally, we could do the draw.
Yeah.
But that will show which one of them two can possibly move up and move on, because these games are 6-pointers already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're in a little division, aren't we, of sort of 5, 6, 7 teams.
Yeah, that's it.
But out of that, we're doing all right.
Let's have a look at the game then. Forest 2, Luton 2. 2 changes from the Tottenham game. Chom and Mengi for Anderson, Adebayo. Obviously, Anderson's injured and he's out now for a couple of months, I read somewhere. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Who's that, Burke, sorry? So?
No, Anderson.
Oh, Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, he's got a bad hamstring problem.
So, you know, you're full of hope when you get there, and you know, we're waiting for us to take the games when we can to Forest, but it seems that every game we've started in the Premier League, and I think we said this on the way home, every game we've started in the Premier League, we started slowly. We've sort of, I don't know if it's respect, but it just feels like the opposition seem to have a lot of the ball and create a lot of chances quite early, Batari.
But I mean, look, it's not just in the Premier League. I mean, I understand the whole point of the possession. It's going to be a thing. We know we've not got the, what's the word? We don't play possession football anyway. We knew that in the back in the Championship. I mean, was it average 38, 39% possession and still...
around that,
So it was something around them marks. But the thing is, right, I mean, for me, possession means absolutely nothing. Don't get me wrong, it can tire you out, I get it, especially when you're playing against your Manchester Cities or your Liverpools, teams like that. But I just think a lot of teams now want to keep the ball, and half the time they do nothing with it anyway, so that doesn't really bother me.
I think it's a little bit strange on this one. We didn't have the majority of the ball last season, but we played with such an intensity and aggression right from the start. Even if we didn't have the ball, we were dominating proceedings because we were battering them and knocking them back. Whereas I think maybe this season we're starting a bit more cautious, set back.
Yeah, you can see
you know, and sort of have a look at them for the first 5 or 10. By which time, you know, they could have scored a couple of goals. So I think there's a difference there. You know, we didn't have a lot of the ball last season, but we played with such aggression and intensity. We were still dominating how the game was going, and we're not dominating how the game is going at the moment.
It's hard to dominate when you're away from home, and you can expect an onslaught because they've got their 28,000 or 26,000 people, you know, cheering them on. And it was a bit hard to watch at the very beginning, Bataro. Would you not agree there? You know, the chances they had... they definitely had the upper hand. And I just want to ask about how Burke dealt with Elanga.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was getting the runaround when he done the our right, their left. He obviously had the beating of Burke every time for pace. But what Elanga wasn't doing, which is credit to Burke, was the fact that Burke was never, ever getting too tight to him. He was backing off, waiting to the right moments to make that tackle, etc. And yes, Elanga might have made him panic a little bit, but at the end of the day, he didn't really get past him. I don't think, maybe once I think he got past him.
Yeah, see, again, on the Sky Sports Saturday programme, which, you know, our game was being watched by a former Nottingham Forest player.
Dawson, was it by any chance?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he's okay, he's a good guy, he's quite sort of intelligent and that, but he did say that Elanga has got the beating of him pretty much every time.
Oh, he's a fast player. We all know. I mean, if you watch, obviously, Premier League football last season or when he came from Man United, you knew this guy had pace because he wouldn't be playing for Man United. Well, obviously not playing, you know what I mean, not properly, but you wouldn't be in and around the team if you weren't good enough. And they paid, I think, 15, 16 million pounds for this guy. So we know he's got something about him.
Yeah, but as I say, Burke is an intelligent player. He's not going to go tight on someone that's really fast now. So yeah, he sort of give him a couple of yards and that.
A couple of the times they doubled up on him and they stopped him.
That's probably why I think Burke's hamstring went again or whatever, or something went on Burke. That's probably why, because he had to probably put in more of a shift than he usually had to.
I think it was it fairly early on in the second half. He stretched and done a back heel to knock the ball away from the penalty area, and then immediately put his hand up.
Oh, was it? That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is such a shame, because we can't afford for him to be bloody injured again.
Got no bloody defenders.
He put in a shift. I want to ask you, either of you can answer this first, but how confident are you when you look at Kaminsky between the sticks? Because up until recently, I think we've had that doubt about our goalkeeper. You know, last season, sometimes, we were great, sometimes it wasn't so great. But are you more confident with Kaminsky in the goal?
Oh yeah, I am. But the thing is, right, what we need to understand and realise is the fact that we were under it quite a lot at the beginning of the season. We had a lot, like say Chelsea, Brighton's. I mean, not that I was at Brighton. Obviously, I didn't see the game, but it's almost like with Kaminsky, he was almost thrown into the deep end, and we're trying to find our feet as a team, and he has to sort of like just try not to make errors. Which unfortunately, you're going to make errors as a goalkeeper, especially when the ball is in your area or your half of the majority of the game, etc., whatever else. But I think he looks like a very good goalkeeper, to be fair to him.
I am much more hopeful and calmer about his place in the side now. I think the last 3 or 4 games, I think he's got better and better. Yeah. And you think every single player in that team has had to adjust to a new level. And it's no different to him. The pace is so much greater. It's no different to him. So it's just the fact that he's the last man. So what he does is so much more obvious, because invariably it could lead to a goal or a great save.
And his reactions are phenomenal as well, aren't they?
He's making some great scrambling saves. I'm sure one that he made sort of during the first half, absolutely fantastic. He just got something on it. But yeah, the answer to your question, Dave, I'm a lot more comfortable with him.
Because the reason I ask is because I felt really confident with him. I feel that there may be a couple more things could go a little bit better for him, but I just think he gives it a little bit more confidence in between the sticks.
He looks more confident in himself as well in the last sort of 5-6 weeks as well. I mean, beginning of the season, it was a bit more ball would come to him, smack it out kind of thing, up the pitch or whatever else. And
yeah, but if you think as well, lads, he was a complete stranger to the whole of the defensive unit.
Yeah.
He's really...
And to be fair, that defensive unit is changing every single week.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't had a settled 3, 4 or 5, however it's been. He's new to it, and really the keeper is the eyes to the defenders. He's the one that's got to be doing all the shouting and that. So the whole of the defensive unit, and you can include your 2 holding midfielders in that as well, have had to get used to a new level and each other, and I reckon it's settling down quite nicely.
Yeah, I agree.
He was very busy Saturday afternoon. Nottingham Forest had so many glorious chances in the first half. Chris Wood, Toffolo, and Kaminsky had to make a couple of saves. There was a couple of open opportunities that I was absolutely flabbergasted that Nottingham Forest didn't put in, Steve.
Well, Wood thankfully didn't have his shooting head on. He was sort of putting them wide and that. And there was a one right at the end of the first half. The guy completely screwed the shot.
Sangari.
That's right. He was off balance and he sort of just pulled it wide.
You'd be disappointed if that was one of us putting that in.
Oh, you'd be furious.
Well, it was probably equal to the opportunity we had at Tottenham, against Tottenham, where we had a shot that we should have put in the goal.
What, Elijah?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 2 to be fair. Was that on him and Doughty, wasn't there, as well?
Doughty's on it.
Yeah. But likewise, Everton should have had maybe 2 before we went on. But if they miss it, unlucky. We're starting to take more and more of our sort of half chances, and that's what we've got.
But that Sangari one, though, I think it was in the 47th minute, or whatever.
Yeah. That's right on the stroke of half time.
Basically, right. I think it was 46 and 15 seconds or whatever. I thought, do you know what? That's it now. I've got a goal kick. I think it was a goal kick we had. I went, I'll go to the bar, get the beers in for you boys and whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
He did.
Because it was, I had,
it's your round.
Muggins over here, yeah.
Your round.
Typical. But so basically, I went down there. Next minute, I saw it on the screen. I've looked around. I've gone, oh God, they're down the right hand side or whatever. It's got whips in. I think Kaminsky gets a foot to it.
Yeah.
Does quite well with it. And all of a sudden, I thought, oh, here we go. But I've not heard cheering. I'm pretty sure it was about 5 seconds delay as well. I'm thinking, my heart's sinking at this point. I'm like, He must have missed it. There's no noise.
What
yeah,
what I did notice as well with the highlights, couple of the headers that would put wide or whatever.
Yeah.
Ogbene.
Oh,
He didn't win. He didn't win the headers,
Brilliant.
but he was putting in such a physical challenge.
He was jumping with nudging.
Yeah,
him.
so he wasn't giving him an easy ride. So again, becoming more and more important in both final thirds. That boy.
Sorry, Dave. I was about to say I didn't know it's about Ogbene until I saw the highlights back.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. Obviously, at the time, it's happening quite quick. You don't really see a lot. I didn't realise how important he was.
Yeah.
For defending set pieces and whatever.
Is Ogbene becoming the first name on the team sheet every week?
Yes, 100%. Oh my
and
Lord,
what
this
have we
guy.
got to do to keep him at the club? Because you know that
Give him an 8-year deal.
people will come knocking for him.
Give him an 8-year deal.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But
I reckon, obviously, if we get a stupid sum of money offered, then he's not really going to be given a choice. But I think if he was given a choice and Luton said, look, we've had this offer, but we're not bothered about it, I think he's going to want to progress and learn and then sort of take the next step, maybe in a season or so, because he's not old, and he's got such an amazing pace in that. But he's creating chances. He's now contributing defensively as well. I mean, the save that Kaminsky made, where he just got something on it and then Lockyer, I don't know why, but Ogbene went ahead of that ball and it was on the floor. So
was that Ogbene, was it?
Yeah, so I don't know what went through his mind there, but as I say, that was a bit of a scramble. But again, Kaminsky got something on it and then Lockyer sort of cleared it away.
I don't want to leave the first half without talking about two opportunities that we had. I think, one was a bit unlucky. I think one was glorious. And the first one is the cross in from Ogbene.
Yeah.
And then you got Morris and I think, was it Brown at the back post?
Brown,
And literally, if it wasn't for the touch of the Nottingham Forest defender,
mate, that's fantastic. Defending.
Did he mean that, Steve, or was that good defending, or was that just lucky?
It was no. It was fantastic. It was fantastic defending. Because first time you see it, you think, how hasn't Brown sort of tapped it away in that? But he didn't only just get a touch on it; he sort of got a bit of an angle on it, bringing it away from the goal. So that was fantastic.
And it rated right at the ball, that sort of like had risen as well, hadn't it, over like Brown's leg, so it would have gone about an extra 8-10 inches up in the air.
But the cross was right in the danger zone. It caused all sorts of problems, forcing him into this brilliant clearance.
And then we had a header from Brown as well.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. Bataro, what do you want to say about that?
This one kills me every single time because I've seen it on the day and I thought, maybe it was a bit harder than we thought. I've seen it back from every
first half or second half?
This is the first half.
First half.
First half, okay.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was, anyway, but...
It was definitely first half.
Yeah.
Wasn't our end.
No, it was, Was it?
Yeah, it was definitely first half.
Yeah, all right, anyway. That's a long day, but that wasn't it. But anyway, but
Bataro doesn't remember any of it because he was sober.
Yeah, that's it. But, no, honestly, right, I've seen, I thought, at the time, I thought maybe it was a difficult chance, maybe it's slightly behind it. I was trying to make every excuse for him, but you have to be scoring that. That's really pissed me off, I'm not going to lie. I've seen it back from, like I said, every single angle. You have to be going either back across the goalkeeper, or if you're confident enough, just go for the near post in the corner.
We've got
straight at the keeper.
We've got to have that ruthlessness from him.
Because if we keep doing this all season, he keeps doing that all season. I mean, I think Jacob Brown's a brilliant player, by the way.
Work ethic's brilliant.
Nuts off. He cannot. He's got a bit of a 50 pence head, and I hate to say it. No, I hate to say it.
Crichton.
I mean, I'm sure now. I mean, it sounds a bit horrible, but I mean.
Well, no, he hasn't, because he's not sort of slicing the headers or anything. It's going pretty much where he's aiming.
Yeah, but that's where he's aiming, for straight ahead in front of the goalkeeper. Then we've got problems, then, haven't we?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We've got problems.
I mean, it's not sort of splicing off him. He's getting a good connection on them invariably.
Is he though?
Well, he is, because normally they're going 5 yards over.
Well, that's what I mean by 50 pence head, though. Yeah, but I mean, has he like sort of gone? I'm going to go back across the goal, and he's sort of like caught it too sweet on the middle of the head. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe trying too hard.
Maybe, yeah. It's like I said, it's a tough one. Like I said, I would never want to be in that situation, because if you don't score those chances or even make the goalkeeper work, you are going to be slaughtered for it. Not by us, obviously, but
Who would you start on Villa, Steve? Brown or Elijah?
Elijah.
What about you? Batari.
I don't know.
Because I think Brown's had a few weeks. Elijah he's had his break. He's come back in. He scored the goal. We'll get onto that. So I think he's going to be buzzing. He's going to be champing at the bit. And yeah, for me, I would make that change again.
I think I would stick with Brown just for the simple reason of Adebayo off the bench is phenomenal. So just have that little bit of like, oh, do you know what? We might be able to get a goal if Adebayo comes off the bench because he's got a good record of doing it. So that's what I'd stay with.
Getting to half time, I was quite relieved, but I was also disappointed that we hadn't scored because I thought we had the good chances. But 0-0, you're thinking, okay, 45 to go. We can come out, we can come better, we get better at this. And it's possibly the worst start for the first, second half that you could ever have. The goal itself was so disappointing. The defending was a bit out of, the little touch through. We have Doherty out of position, and it's a free run at goal, isn't it?
It looked poor from Lockyer because he sort of got caught under his feet, and it wasn't a clear bit of play. But Doughty got attracted to the man that Burke was already tracking. Yeah. So of course it then went out, and unfortunately Doughty completely got that one wrong because Burke was shepherding the guy. There was no need to get drawn in like that.
What I would say about that goal is, like you say, obviously, I agree with what you're saying, like the whole thing about what I was about to say about Doughty as well, which I don't know what he was doing, what he's thinking there. I get things happen, but what I said to you, Dave, I think on the day, or Dwayne, whoever it was, I turned around and said, if Chris Wood runs in behind and gets that much space and it finishes like that, you defended really poorly because this guy. Don't get me wrong, I like Chris Wood. I think he's a good traditional centre forward, as you would say.
Yeah.
But this guy he's not known for running behind and scoring goals like that. And that's what really, really frustrates me.
I could say, if someone like Mo Salah, you think,
shit. Fair enough. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But not Chris Wood.
So that gives them the incentive then to push on. Now the one up, and now for us it's going to be a difficult thing. And it felt like it was just building up for a second. But again, we still had a couple of chances and opportunities, but
because Brown had a header in the second half that was weak and just straight at the keeper.
Yeah, I think we had an opportunity to go 1-1 just before they broke away and scored their second goal.
Sorry, quick. You say Brown had another header?
Well, Brown had a header in
Which one was I on about when he headed straight to the goalkeeper? Was that the first off setting? I can't even remember.
Brown...
A game of two halves.
Which one was which?
I say that Brown's header in the second half, it wasn't a cushioned header, but there wasn't a lot of pace, and it was straight at the keeper. Yeah. That was across from Ogbene, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of then. I don't even know. Yeah, but either way, header, whatever.
So, I don't know if I'm right here, but did we make the substitution before they scored their second? Because I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Well, when the second goal went in, Barkley
was on the pitch.
Yeah,
so we made our subs before that. Then.
Was it all three at the same time?
Three.
That's right. Because before that was when Burke done the back heel and stretched himself. Because Kabore was on as well, and so was Townsend. I remember seeing it from the highlight. So the subs had been made.
So Townsend, Barkley, and Elijah come on, and you're hoping they're going to change the game. And actually, I have to say, I was quite impressed with Barkley.
Oh wow, mate, Ross Barkley. If he can do that, and that's what he's capable of, then we'll be fine.
And also Townsend's contribution, I thought was brilliant. In fact, all three of them coming on made a difference. But then you get kicked in the proverbials by a second goal. And the thing I noticed about that, we allowed the cross. That's we've said this so many times on the podcast. Stop the cross, they can't score. But we looked at Teden Mengi, and he had too much to do. He had like three players around him, and he couldn't get to it.
Yeah, totally overloaded at the back post. And Barkley, I don't know if he should have been tucking into sort of the line, but he was sort of just ahead of the line, but not really doing anything.
We should defend that better, surely, Patari.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you
because he'd put a couple of headers over as well, hadn't he? So
that's the warning sign. You should know.
That's right.
And the thing is, if anyone who has watched Chris Wood in the past, that either I don't know Newcastle, Burnley, or wherever, everyone would know that this guy has made a living out of doing this. He scores headers for fun. He's very good at doing it. But look, it's just so frustrating the fact that all he's had to do is just bend his head like that and just sort of hook it a little bit, and it's gone straight at. Great header, don't get it wrong, but it's
say nothing Kaminsky could do with it.
No, poor defending.
Disappointing then. So we've sort of given away two easier goals. Given away is probably not the right word. The first one for definite was a problem. The second one, we just didn't defend as well as we could. I don't want to say give it away.
As a team.
Yeah,
as a team we didn't.
And then, thankfully, Steve Cooper had a mind-blowing decision to change the team. He's obviously sitting there, Bataro, going 2-0. Luton haven't had that many chances. His game is over, so I'm going to put these guys on.
I think that's, do you know what? I think it's quite funny because the fact of he's probably sat there and gone, I mean, no manager will sit there and admit that he's done that for a reason, going, this and that. But the fact that as soon as they have scored their second goal, he's gone to the bench like, come on, boys.
Yeah, he's done that immediately. Yeah.
And I think, was it not Ryan Yates? I think, is it Ryan Yates or the centre-half, whatever it was anyway. I think, pretty sure he hasn't played for a long time as well.
Right. And
it's like, a lot of Forest fans don't rate, is it not Yates? Who was the other one? Centre-half. Anyway, it don't matter. But certain Forest fans, we were talking to them after and before, and whatever, they don't rate these guys, some of these guys. And they're bringing them on and you think, that is just funny because it's almost like a disrespect to us. Like saying, you're shite, we're going to put some of our...
we're going to coast through this.
This is it.
I was about to ask that. Look, I have a friend who is a Nottingham Forest fan, Dave. He's on the Football 12-Man podcast, and he'd say it like it is. I think what you're looking at there is a lot of the fans thinking, well, that's only Luton. Basically, the manager's thinking it's only Luton for definite. I don't think Steve Cooper's ever given us any respect when we played his teams, ever.
To be fair, he's got to sort of like big himself up or big his team up because he's so ugly as well. So, bless him.
I wasn't going to mention that. But so that sort of played into our hands and we picked up from there and we had a lot of possession and we created some chances. Barkley's on the ball. He's literally controlling his midfield area. He was spot on, Steve. I know you didn't see it.
But this is. I know we've chatted about it sort of before the pod. This is exactly what we wanted from Barkley, for him to be going to the ball, saying, "Right, give me the ball, give me the ball," because he's got a vision. He's got a pass on him. So that is absolutely great. He's not there to do defending, but if he's in that position, then he's got to do it. But we want him demanding the ball. But then you need
playmaking.
Yeah, but you can only be that good if people are moving and finding space. And it would appear, because everyone said how good he played, but you couldn't tell from the highlights on Match of the Day, could you?
It was Barkley who was fouled for the free kick and
brought that down a beaut though, didn't he? That was down for a tenner.
Yeah, he did it. I loved the way he reacted, and it was a brilliant thing. And I'm putting it to you, Bataro, that Townsend delivered a perfect ball.
Right, to anyone that's sitting there laughing at Dave right now, right?
He's trying to claim that he done it deliberately, isn't he?
So basically, right, what I'm going to tell is a short story of Dave in the car on the way back, right? So we're sitting there. Dave's going, "That's a great delivery, it's a brilliant cross." I think without seeing the highlights at this point. And I was gone, "Dave, that was a shocking ball in." Just poor defender. He went, no. Straight away, he's got up on his high horse, right? He's gone, "No, Bataro, no." Probably being serious to me as well.
I'll tell you what.
Hang on a minute, Dave.
Let me defend myself.
No, you'll have your time.
Your Honour, wait, hang on. No, so then he went, no, Bataro, turn around, got all up, no, from in front of me, or my face and whatever, as he could, with his seatbelt on. He went, "No, it was a great cross. If it wasn't a great cross, it wouldn't have been a goal, would it?" I've just gone,
"True, you can't deny that."
And then I can't.
Right, okay, let's just leave that there. What I'm telling you is this, right? Townsend delivered a cross, clearly poorly defended. It wasn't the best cross in the world, but he got to Ogbeni.
But it was to you though, on Saturday, Dave.
Well, because it led to a goal, mate. And if it leads to a goal, then it's a brilliant cross. So we'll leave it there. Ogbeni's lashed it in. It's 1-1. It's a bit muted in the behind. And you're thinking now, how long are we going to get on the board? And 8 minutes comes up. Yeah. And suddenly you start to believe, because we had 2 or 3 opportunities to get another goal. I just need to talk about Adebayo's goal, because my goodness, the ball from Lockyer, the chest down into space, and he whacks it in. Now,
put it this way: if Ronaldo had done that, the whole world would be talking about it. That's what I'm saying.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Brilliant
the
goal.
Atmosphere there, and at 2-2, you're thinking we've done it. We talk about the celebrations. It was amazing, really amazing, and you can't fault that goal, Steve.
It backs up all the constructive words and constructive criticism about Adebayo. That just reinforces what people were saying.
Yeah.
I was saying about using his attributes, his strength and his aggression, and that's exactly what he did do. I mean, it was just put into the area. He forced the guy out of the way. He then had the composure, and then he did he put it away. So, the people that have spoken about him constructively, and I'd like to think that was myself was one of those, but he just done what we know he's capable of, and that is shrugging people out the way, bringing the ball down, and he put it away. Very quickly, the internet abuse again. What is the matter with these sick people?
Was that the racist crap that's going on?
I know the clock's ticking and that, but there is just absolutely no place for it, and the guy no one deserves it. So everyone at Luton is absolutely with Elijah.
Terrible, isn't it?
When you look at Luton's team, it's quite diverse. And it's always has been, and it's never been an issue, and it should never be an issue in football or in life. So let's hope they find out who it is and get it sorted.
Exactly.
I think they will do, to be fair, because I think by the sounds of it, the Premier League made a statement today about it as well, didn't they? So
hearts in the hand moment though. Just briefly after we scored, we didn't reset as quickly as we wanted to. Alan Burnley, and you're thinking, there's a goal. And on the day, it was so good to see the flag because
mate, it was hilarious, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Nottingham Forest fans near us were celebrating and giving us a lot of abuse. But that aside,
I would just like in that area of the pitch that Ross Barkley doesn't try to do some of his skill, which he is capable of, because he's lost the ball there a couple of times, and it's not a good place on the pitch to lose the ball.
To be fair to you, Steve, you're right, and that was rather than play the ball, that was a hack away at that point, because there was minutes to go, if that.
Yeah.
But after that, I thought we was comfortable, and I was so disappointed at the end we didn't get a corner.
That's when the ref blew up, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought it was I tell you,
we're all sitting there, turn around to each other, going, this is it now.
If he'd have given the corner, he'd have played the corner.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a corner, but there you go.
Oh no, it was a corner.
Did he give a goal kick as well and blew the whistle?
No, just blew the whistle.
Oh, did he?
But he should have played the corner.
But no, look, what an ending to a game though.
Right. Well, another point. Let's not dwell on anything that went wrong. Another point, a really hard fought point. We never gave up.
Really morale boosting.
Yeah, we never gave up. Nottingham Forest, let's be fair, they haven't clicked all this season, but they've got something like 15 points or something like that, haven't they?
Do you know what? Sorry, Dave. I just jumped right in there.
Go for it.
About to say something. There. What I was going to say was I did not realise until after the game on the Sunday, I believe, until my mate texted me, they had only lost 2 in 19 or something like that at home.
At home, yeah.
Since last season.
Their form has been really good.
So, and they've got one of the best home records apparently. So, and I thought you look back on that and you think, wow, to come from 2 goals down and obviously just come back to 2
late on in the game. No, fair play. Fair play.
Brilliant.
To all concerned.
Well done. Because like I say, people sit there going, it's only Nottingham Forest, but people need to realise that Forest have some real good players as well.
Would have been nice if that goal had gone in with the little one-touch stuff. Elijah done a back heel, and I think Woodrow's shot just got blocked. But
goal of the season for me. That would have been
an absolute beauty.
I said that on the day. I said that on the day. A goal of the season. So we're on to Villa on Saturday. That's a tough fixture, but because Villa have been scoring for fun at home.
Runs come to an end.
Well, I hope it's Saturday, Steve, because not Saturday. Sunday.
That's the reason I can't go, because I can't get childcare. Cheers, son.
Yeah,
I joke, you bless him.
We'll have a brief chat about Townsend, because for me, when he came on for the brief time he was on Saturday, I mean, firstly, I was quite surprised we signed him. When we did sign him, I think that's a good signing.
I was excited for it.
A lot of experience, left foot, right foot, and he's committed.
Something that I heard about him, which I absolutely adore. Some of the first team players squad had a few days off with the international break. Some of the international players obviously went away. He was in training with the academy and also sort of offering help and advice as well as training. That is a committed pro. Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. And he's chomping at the bit. And
that's what we need as well, isn't it? People like that in the club. Yeah.
It's a short-term deal. Hopefully, he'll do well, and we can get it extended. But,
tell you what,
what a great attitude! That is bang on it.
If he stays fit as well, right, and we can get sort of like, I don't know, another 8 games out before, say like, I don't know, 8 games for example, until January, and we give an extension to the end of the season, and he can perform well. Then we give him maybe a year or 2 after that. I'm all for it because I'm a massive Townsend fan.
When he came on, and there was a couple of times he's going down the right-hand side against Forest, I just looked at you and I think I said to you on the day, there's a bit of class there.
Yeah, you can see it. He's just, mate, I mean, you guys must have seen him play for England and Newcastle and whatever else, Palace and whoever else. he was a brilliant player at this level.
Okay, and he can hit a ball.
Yeah,
He can outrageously hit a ball.
Remember his goal against City a couple of years back? A few years
for
back?
Palace, yeah.
Dear me.
He made an impact off the bench. I think he said in the interview, the official interview, that's what he wanted to, if he can come on and make a difference and make it. But he definitely made an impact. We asked you guys, what do you make of these substitute periods, and do you want him to stay on past his deal expiring in January? Adam said didn't go on Saturday, so hard to say, but BBC Match Report says he got player of the match despite being only playing 26, 27 minutes. Well, if that's true, if he's fit, you think he has to start up top with Morris and Ogbene?
Yeah.
Dan said, I thought both Townsend and Barkley made a difference when they came on. Would he great to start Andros, but Rob has mentioned, I don't know what that means, we don't want to break him. Yeah, of course we don't want to break him because, we've treated him with...
he's had a long time out, yeah.
We'd definitely sign him if he can stay. And if we do sign him, I can see him becoming sort of part of the coaching team at some point as well. Ad says, made an impact and played a part in our first goal. His experience shows, and I do think it's too early to say staying beyond his deal. He's only played 15 minutes. So one person said, but he actually played 18 minutes, just to let you know. Andy, who's class, even if it was only a short period? Course, Forest problems, service was good. Will he be using an impact player or from the word goal? Who knows? But the signs were good. If he stays fit, then why not extend his contract? Lee says he speaks so well and he doesn't seem at all arrogant about playing for us. His experience on and in around the training ground as well as any time on the pitch will be totally valuable.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You can't not disagree with those, can you?
And no, that's the thing. And what I liked about what he said is in his interview, last week as well. I think he turned around and said, he goes, Luton, like the local team kind of thing. Like, that's it. He referred to us as being the local team, and he's always kept an eye out, etc. But no, like you say, he speaks very well. And do you know what? If we can get the best out of him, we have a serious player on our hands. Yeah. I don't know how old is he? Is he 32 maybe now? 31, 32? I
think it's 32, I think.
So, yeah, he's still at a decent age. You know what I mean? He can still do it. He's got experience, bags of it. And, great sign.
It's amazing that we can attract these sort of players now. You wouldn't have thought we'd have signed Ross Barkley. You wouldn't have thought that we'd have signed Townsend. Mm-hmm. I know the Premier League is a draw, but the club must be a draw as well, surely. The way that we are
as well.
And I think the way we are as a club, I think lots of other Premier League teams will not understand in the same way that we understand how we've got to where we are.
Yeah, we're a very different club. We're set up differently. We're made differently.
Yeah.
I think our history is a massive part of that as well. But it must be almost intriguing for some of these players to sort of get involved in that. But as I say, the fact that he's been such a model pro can only be good for us.
I think the fact of, like you say, about obviously the club and whatever else, I think the fact of how well we are run as a club, for example, I think that is massive for people signing for us as well, because they know that they're not going to come here and get messed about and, managers are going to go here, am I secure, am I this, am I that? They know they're secure as long as they perform and they're professional about it. Because we're not stupid, we're not that, like the twats down the road, for example.
I just want to big up Rob Edwards at the end as well for telling us that he won't do the old fist pumping because we only got 1 point. I thought that was fantastic.
Exactly, not for a draw.
Good man.
Obviously, we're moving on. Before we go, next 5 fixtures: Villa, Liverpool, Manchester United, Crystal Palace and Brentford. Steve, we're on target for your 7 points.
Yeah.
We only got to get 2 more wins from that last week. Villa's going to be hard. Liverpool will be what it is. I'm going to be cheeky and say, you know what, we might upset Manchester United.
Yeah. I said we're going to win.
Okay, well, I'll hold you to that.
That's it. Yeah.
And also, I just want to mention briefly, if I may, last Christmas on our Christmas pod special, look out for this year's, it's going to be great. I spoke to Brian Horton, and he was an absolute joy to speak to, and he was really a nice guy. Sadly, yet another person that's confirmed and announced that he'd been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Obviously, we wish him well.
Yeah.
But it's a good point to actually mention. And Mark Crowther, he's still doing his charity bike rides. And if you haven't sponsored him, part of the sponsorship is for prostate cancer. So you might want to think about making a donation if you can, because it will help so many people. And just guys, just get yourself checked. If you're at the age where you should be, just get yourself checked. We wish Brian well. I think they got it quite early, so
Yeah, I mean,
it looks quite positive.
Very, very quickly on Nobby. Me and my grandson bought his book a couple of seasons back, and he was doing the book signing in the souvenir shop. And there was a queue of people, so obviously not too much time. But he was interested in asking my grandson about his team, who he plays for, his position, and that. He was just an absolute gent. Had a picture
Decent
taken
guy,
with
yeah.
him. So really, really decent guy.
Sad news, isn't it?
One of our greatest captains.
And, well, absolutely one of our greatest
Yeah.
captains. I remember him holding that trophy up in the 80s when we
Yeah.
got promoted. It's fantastic. And that year we beat Watford for the title. Made it even better.
Yeah.
Just another little thing to think about. Come January, African Cup Nations.
Yes.
We could lose some people for that.
I mean, what is it? Pelly and Kabore, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the only two we've got? Yeah, it must be, yeah.
Yes, I think that's right, yeah.
I mean, like I say, the way the injury list is going, I think we might have to request that we keep them at the moment because this is looking a bit bleak, isn't it, for us, injury-wise, but...
I think it shows, because it seems to be a few hamstrings going on. It just shows how hard we're having to work.
It distresses me every time I look at the next 5 fixtures. Every week we look at the next 5 fixtures and we only tick one more off.
Those next three are pretty scary, I'll be honest. Well, especially the next two especially.
I would be happy if we go to Villa and don't concede too many.
Embrace it. Just embrace it.
That's it.
Listen, we need to make sure we put in a performance. Now, you're right, runs do come to an end, but when Villa are on form, they are totally the team that are being predicted. Maybe they could break into the top 4, but definitely top 6.
Oh, 100%.
And they're doing so well.
You see them against West Ham yesterday, they're incredible.
Yeah, but they put 6 past Brighton, didn't they?
Yep.
And they put 4 past West Ham. They're scoring for fun at home, so we've got to stop that, and we've got to look out for Watkins and the rest of them. Liverpool at home. Do you know what? Liverpool at home. That's a strange one. I don't know. I think again, if we're on the night, it's a late afternoon kickoff, isn't it? Early evening kickoff, 4:30, isn't it?
Yeah. On Sunday, TV, I believe.
Yeah. So I do you know it might be right, but the ones I'm looking at: Brentford, Palace, and Man United. And I'd love to get some points off of them. Just to remind you all, by the way, we've got 2 more wins for the whole season to equal Derby's worst record. And then they can stop talking about us then, and they can just put it on Sheffield United.
Like I say, should be looking at Sheffield United anyway, because they, like I said, I'm not going to comment on them, but yeah.
That's the point, they're not. I don't want to sound bitter, but they're not looking at the other 2 promoted ties.
No.
We're doing well. It's been a fun season so far.
Yeah.
Let's hope that we can get something out of the next couple. We'll be back as normal next Monday. And did you want to say something?
I was about to say, what I'm about to say is a little while back, I forgot to say it. Also, another funny thing, if anyone ever see it, everyone's at the game, and towards the right-hand side behind the goal, when their third goal went in and they were singing, obviously, you're going down, all that sort of stuff, and then that group, little set of fans, they're all sitting there giving it all a 3-2, 3-2, you're getting relegated, jumping up and down, right? The flag had been up for about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Best moment I've had at football for a long time. Because everyone's just sitting there going, mate, flag's up, you idiots, you know what I mean? You bunch of twats.
And also they sat down in
didn't
they? They just sat
and they all
head
just
in hand.
disappeared, didn't they, after? But yeah, sorry.
Look, you can't underestimate any time in the any side in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest did well to stay up last season. They're banking on staying up this season.
Spend 180 million or whatever they spent last year.
I don't think that really matters. If they got the money, why not spend it? I don't think it matters, because now they've got another season in there where they get another 100 million pounds.
This is what I thought was ruined though in a way. Sorry, that's what
I think that's true, but when you're a club like us and you know what this money means to our club and how it can keep us sustained, and we've been to the absolute abyss with VR. So we're lucky that we have the people in control of the club that we have in control, and long may that happen. If the Saudis come into Luton and said, "Oh, we're going to buy you," a lot of people will go, "Yeah, let's do it, because we could do some stuff." But do you lose the soul of your club then? Probably.
I'm more than happy with the current setup.
Yes, same as that.
So I just want to say hi to Fraser. Thanks for coming up, saying hello to us at the weekend, and anyone else who did, whose names I've forgotten, I do apologise. We're at Villa next week. I'll see you there. Come on, you at us. See you next week.